much prefer that to the alternative.
Every leap of civilization was built off the back of slaves. Replicants are the future, but I can only make so many.
I had the lock.
And he has the key.
I think I found him.
That's not possible. If this gets out, we've bought ourselves a war.
You're a cop. I did your job once.
Things were simpler then.
What do you want?
I want to ask you some questions. What happened?
I covered my tracks, scrambled the records. We were being hunted.
By who?
They know you're here. You do not know what pain is yet. You will learn. Bring it to me.
This breaks the world.
We have to go.
I'm coming with you.
Where is he? The future of the species is finally unearthed.
Thank you.
Andy's here to talk about this great movie, which I got the chance to see last night, and it's mind-blowing. It's incredible. It's everything you want from a Blade Runner sequel, and if you're a fan of the filmmaker, it's everything you want from this filmmaker. So it's an incredible achievement, so congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
I want to go back to the beginning, though, with the first Blade Runner, because the first Blade Runner is a fairly polarizing film when it first came out, and it was a sort of controversial film for you in your career in terms of sort of what happened with it in the post-production. So what made you want to return to it? Was it a sort of a return, getting the chance to sort of do it right?
No, I mean, I have no regrets about the experience of making the first one, and whatever happened, happened. So, I mean, I put it to bed a long time ago. And then about 4 years ago, I got a call from Ridley saying, would you, in theory, be interested in revisiting the character? And he is quoted as saying, I said, meh. Which I don't think I did. I went on beyond that, and I said, well, what have we got? Do we have and he sent me a novella that he developed with Hampton Francher, one of the original writers, which was really intriguing. You notice I've avoided the whole question that you asked me.
Good work on that.
Thank you.
You're a seasoned pro at this.
I'm working on it.
Ridley has said that the original Blade Runner was his most personal film, so it makes sense that he would be sort of developing a novella. Did you read the novella that he had been working on with Hampton, or did you wait for the script?
Yeah, I read it. Yeah, of course I read it. And I was intrigued by it, and I thought I saw potential that for me. I mean, I knew there was potential for Ridley. That's fine, but I thought there was a compelling emotional quality to the part of the story that my character carried, and that really hooked me.
And also the world as well, exploring artificial intelligence and replicants is more prescient now.
Yeah. I associate artificial intelligence with computers and with a different thing. We're talking about replicants. I mean, there are people probably in this room. I haven't seen the first, weren't old enough to see the first film. And so there may be confusing, it may be confusing to understand what a replicant is. You peel back the skin on a replicant, you do not see computer chips. You do not see the mechanisms of artificial intelligence. What you see is a biologically identical animal to a human being. But it's not made in the old-fashioned fun way. It's made...
Wait, I'm sorry, what way is that, Mr. Ford?
I'll tell you later. I don't want to bore these people. It's made, you know, you're starting with some kind of a petri dish and you or a medical factory, and the point of it all is that person is, or that animal is owned. It's chattel. It's assigned a destiny, which is retired at will, and and that's the potential that we're very close to having in science, predicted in a film that 35 years ago, but it's. And happily, there's still the moral will to confine this kind of capacity, you know, a curated, owned slave, fitted with I won't go too much deeper because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But you get the point.
I got it.
Okay.
And one of the things that in the original film and in this explores so beautifully is this idea of consciousness. And if your memories are yours or manufactured, are you a conscious living thing? Which is sort of also how they sort of define the rights of replicants versus non-replicants, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that something that interested you in the first film and that you were hoping to explore even further in this, which I think you do?
Oh. We do explore it further, but I wasn't hoping. I was hoping. All I was hoping after the first one was I was hoping I would get another job. That's what I do. If I don't have a story to tell, I'm out of work, and I don't mind being out of work from time to time. But that's what I do. Yeah. I'm an assistant storyteller.
What's the longest you've been out of work since you started? Since your career really took off?
I think I have stayed home for a year, once. I love to work. I love the experience of getting together with a bunch of people and figuring out how to do whatever it is that's proposed to be done. I love having the opportunity to be part of that. The world of storytelling. I love the aspects. I love being on a stage working with a group of people, some of who are in front of the camera, most of whom are behind the camera, and yeah, I mean, that's my community. That's what I love. I love the problem-solving aspects of it too, figuring out how to get the most out of it that you can. A kind of snout to tail theory. Whole hog. Yeah.
Whole hog.
Yeah. I want to use the whole hog.
It's a wonderful turn of phrase. When you decide to do a movie, be it Blade Runner 2049 or Star Wars The Force Awakens, what drives you to take these projects? What are some of the sort of guidelines that you have to get you to say yes?
Well, I got to get through the script to start without, being bored. I want to be able to recognize the character and know that I have some sense of connection with the character and the story that we're telling. I want to know that the people are that I'm will be associated with for the next couple of years are going to be good company, and I'll be good company for them.
Those Ryan Gosling good company?
Who?
Clearly he kept his distance.
That guy?
Yeah, that dude.
Awesome. Absolutely one of the best work experiences. He's really very talented, but he's also real straightforward.
I heard you decked him.
Yeah, I didn't say I liked him. No, I hit him one time. I threw, we're doing a scene in which you are meant to believe, as the audience, that I have hit him. That's acting, right? So I threw, 120 punches. I hit him one time. And suddenly I'm incompetent.
Now he goes around telling everybody.
Now he
about
goes
it.
around telling everybody. Yeah.
Got a great story for the late night shows now.
Really? Come on.
The follow-up to that is that you apologize with a bottle of scotch.
Is there another way? He keeps complaining I didn't apologize with a bottle. I apologized with a glass. He wanted the whole bottle, and I think he still does.
What about Jared Leto? You have a great scene in the film with him. He's a notoriously committed actor. What was it like doing the scene with him? Obviously, you can't talk about.
Wait a second. Notoriously committed. You mean he cares about what he's doing?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, everybody
There's a bit
should.
of that going around. He's not the only one. It's just. No, he was great. He had a part to play, and he played it well. I was delighted to have the opportunity to be part of it.
One of the most wonderful aspects of this Blade Runner is not just the script, but the director that they brought on, Denis Villeneuve, who directed Sicario, as well as Arrival from a couple years ago. Two really incredible films. What was it like working with him? The visuals the direction is stunning.
He's Canadian.
So he's very, very nice. Does he apologize a lot?
Is there a good Canadian restaurant around here? No. No, there isn't. Let's just start there. There's a reason you're here. Admit it. You want to build a wall? Let's start up north and keep these guys from coming away, taking all our, the number of, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Pull back.
I'm kidding.
Clearly not a Poutine fan.
Huh? No. But he's fantastic. I really enjoyed working with him. Obviously, he's got very clear path for you. But he doesn't mind if you wander, or, if you come from across the street or straight there. He was. You knew you were done when he would come over and he'd say, "I love it. I deeply, deeply, deeply love it." And if you said, "I would love to do it one more time," he'd say, "Okay, but I love it. I deeply, deeply, deeply love it." He's from Montreal. That's my Montreal accent. Yeah.
So are you a bit of a perfectionist when you're on set? I mean, if the director tells you that they love it, you still kind of want to keep going and get it right for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Compared to what? Compared to not giving a rat's ass? Yeah. That's part of one of the things that's so much fun about a movie. It's like there's a real urgency to you have an assigned time to get this done and get it done right, and you got one chance, and you've got to get it out of the box and make it happen, and that's makes you stay alive. You know, I mean, you got to be there, and I love that part of it.
And according to reports, it's very little CG in the movie or CGI in the film. It's mostly practical effects, right? Which makes it even
Practical sets.
practical sets. Excuse me.
There's a lot of CGI sweetening and extending of a set, but he had Denis had the budget and the intention, and he had Roger Deakins. Now, if you got Roger Deakins, you don't want to make stuff in a computer, because it's when you walk onto a set that's been lit by Roger Deakins, the light is like music. It's like a soundtrack, and you perceive that, and you understand how much. But the thing about having a real set to work in is, I mean, it's like this. I mean, I can feel you there. I can hear the sound bouncing off of the walls. It's real, and that means that part's done. So now we have to go on from there, because you can perceive things visually, and you don't need to talk about it. You need to get on with the story. And that's what's kind of neat about it being there. And it really makes a difference to the actors to have those physical elements present.
In the last few years, we've seen the return of your major characters like Han Solo, Blade Runner, Indiana Jones, and I'm curious if there was a period of time where you had to get comfortable with bringing those characters back, or if you always wanted to bring them back.
I don't want to bring anything back. I just want to make movies, and if there's an audience for it, and it's an ambitious effort, and then I'm that's the minimum entry level for my enthusiasm. But I don't I'm not concerned about the fact that I'm coming back to something if I have more story to tell. If the character is brought into a new he has elements of story left to tell.
What was your first response, or what was your first thought when you saw the script for Blade Runner 2049? After you read it, not like saw it sitting there.
Oh. Maybe after dinner. Maybe I'll read it after dinner. I don't know. Maybe in the morning. I don't want to spoil my sleep. No, I was excited. I was excited to get into it and find out what was there, and more important, what was between the lines, because I had already read this novella that Ridley developed with Hampton Fancher as a kind of exercise before the script, and so I had an idea of where we were going. I just didn't know how we were going to get there.
And what did you think when you first saw the film?
I'm checking for 12-year-olds.
You can curse.
I thought it was fucking awesome. I was blown away by it. Yeah.
It's a rarity. I mean, you get to be in great
My
films.
wife
as an
hates
actor.
that when I curse in public.
Do you enjoy cursing in public, though?
Yeah. I like a free range of expression.
Is fuck your favorite curse word?
No,
What's your favorite?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll keep that one under wraps.
thank you. My wife thanks you.
You're welcome. When you saw the film and you thought it was awesome, I mean, you've been a part of some incredible projects, but is it a different feeling to see something like this? Because it is a film that while it is entertaining, it is also Deakins' cinematography and his direction are they're beautiful.
Look,
it's also like
yeah.
looking at a in a gallery in a museum at times.
Yeah, but I mean, each film has a different kind of ambition. I mean, a film like 42, for instance, which is about Jackie Robinson's entrance into white baseball. That has it's just a different thing. So, but this is epic, huge, and it's a cathedral of a movie. It's not a little church you stop into along the way. You know that song?
No.
It's too bad. It's a good song.
I thought we were this close to getting a chance to hear that song, but I knew I didn't think it was gonna come.
It's too early.
What's next for you, Mr. Ford?
I'm going home. There's another Indiana Jones looming. Wow. I'm happy to say. I enjoy working with Steven and making that kind of movie.
What do you mean, that kind of movie?
I mean, an Indiana Jones kind of movie. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What do you mean? What do I mean?
An adventure movie, or just I guess
No, an
specifically
Indiana Jones movie. Yeah. A movie that's more about movies than anything else. But it's also, this is a adult adventure. Indiana Jones are family kind of films, and one of the great opportunities of my life is that Indiana Jones, Star Wars, stuff like that gets passed on generationally. It's not that easy to say. You're looking at me and smiling.
No.
You try it. Try it.
I thought you were going to say generation to generation, but then when I realized you were saying generationally, I was like, oh no, that is difficult.
That is harder. I
empathize with.
And so seeing that in your, having your father say, I want you to, come on, let's go see this, or your mom say, that's very special. And happily, new generations come along and it's reintroduced again. I mean, that's incredible.
Did you get to introduce those films to your children, or was it difficult because they're your films?
They don't really want to see my movies. They come to them by themselves when they feel like it. It's like bus drivers saying, "Hey guys, it's Saturday. You want to go ride on a bus?" They say, "Not so much, Dad."
Do they ever surprise you though, and you're around the house and like, oh hey Dad, I went and saw Force Awakens the other week.
Here's what's happened. What happened? I was years ago. My daughter is now nearing 30. I was doing something in the kitchen and I heard her voice. She was watching something on television. I heard her voice clearly say, "Mom, what happened to Daddy's face?" She was watching an earlier, younger version of me, and she was wondering why I didn't look like that anymore. So it's not the same for when you're a child of the sausage maker. Yeah.
Let's get some questions from the audience. Who has a question? Right here.
Hi, Mr. Ford. Thank you so much for being here.
How are you?
Really good. I'm a big fan, so it's really nice to hear you speak in person here at Build. My question was, what keeps you motivated as an actor?
stories to tell, the opportunity to work on a craft that I've been lucky enough to be part of. The associations with the people I work with, from the director to the dolly grip, the guy who's pushing the camera on rails. You know, it's a new bunch of people, exciting new. It's like moving to a new village and having all of us having to work together to eat. You bet.
Next question. Is it right here?
Hey, Mr. Ford. So
Hey.
great having you here. I was wondering, since you've had such a long career as an actor, like, do you feel like you're still learning on the job? Like, especially with all these franchises that you're revisiting, like, are you still learning as an actor?
Yeah. I think every time you go out to do something, you have the opportunity to re-engage in the process, and you find, according to the people that you're working with and according to the material that you're trying to translate into behavior, it's different every time. Thanks.
Did you learn anything from Gosling?
No. No.
One more question right here.
Hi. So what was it like shooting on location in Hungary, and what were the sets like?
Well, the sets were in. They had some very good stage spaces there. They have a lot of good crews. So it was good to shoot there, and of course the city is a lot of historical things to look at, and you know, the history comes alive when you're in a place like that. But there's also a lot of complicated reality there now. It's but it was a good experience. There's a river runs through it. That's kind of neat. The Danube. It was a good place to work.
Would you go back there and work again?
It's just such a long drive home on the weekend. I wish we could work more often. First of all, you know, there are places you have to go to because it's real, and you need that to be on screen. But there are other places you go to because they ran out of stage space, you know, in London or in Hollywood, and so you go someplace else. But it's always interesting. It's just that, you know, I'd rather sleep in my own bed and not be away from my family.
That makes sense. Mr. Ford, I have to let you go. I got to wrap this up. I feel the need to ask, how did this go? Was it okay? Was it all right for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
High praise from you, my friend.
No. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being
Ladies
here.
and gentlemen, Blade Runner 2049 comes out next week. It is as amazing as you think it will be, if not more amazing. Give it up for Harrison Ford one more time.